So I held off making this video on Wednesday because I thought that the Hasbro stream was going to announce a whole bunch of figures, so I would need some time to write the video in that instance. Then the only thing they announced was the HasLab. So screw me, I guess. But then there were a whole bunch of leaks anyways, so I'm in the clear. Last time I did a video like this, my curse kicked in, and within minutes of the video going live, a new figure was leaked. And by the end of the week, the stream was announced and it happened, as well as a couple more reveals were leaked too. So that was a powerful spike in it. Let's see what my curse conjures this time. And I want to thank Relic Hunter and Sky is Doing the Greatest, along with the usual suspects for helping keeping me appraised of all the Transformers news that happened in the short time since I did the last one of these. But first, your likes! Please give. And if you enjoyed this video by the end and you aren't subscribed already, please consider it. Let's start with a leak that happened like the second the last Looking Forward video went live. And that means it's time for everyone's favorite new segment. PerspectiveEnd says Gamer Edition. It's Gamer Edition Sideswipe. And this one's a bit confusing. I'd heard someone describe this figure before it leaked, talking about how the back would be hollower than my soul. And while it looks in every other way how it was described to me, the back is not hollow, like at all. And I struggle with this thing because like in this shot, I think it looks fine, but in every other shot, it looks terrible. It's gangly, it's puffy, it's both skinny and fat at the same time. The chest is protruding way too much, the backpack gives me barricade flashbacks in the worst way possible, the head is awkward looking, the shoulder tires, I guess, are accurate, but they still look horrible. Though I will say that the alt mode is pretty good, and this figure looks infinitely more like the character is supposed to than the original toy did. So I can see why fans of the game designs would be happy with this. And I do like the fact that it seems that he can hold his gun like a regular person rather than the awful gun arm gimmick. So maybe I'm just being harsher on this thing than it deserves. Then let's talk about the leaked Cyberverse Chromia. Where is it? Where is Cyberverse Chromia? This is it. No, you're wrong. You are wrong. This is not Cyberverse Chromia in any way, shape, or form. It's a Chromia for sure, but it's not even 1% the Cyberverse Chromia. Like, come on, guys. Okay, you wanted to do a retool for her. I understand, that's just how you do. That's how you maximize profits on a mold. So I can live with the lack of side skirts. I can live with 2 wheels instead of 4, and the 2 being in the wrong places. I can live with the chest being a windshield when it's not supposed to be. I can live with the loss of the awesome high-collared shirt. I can live with the loss of the elbow spikes and all the red that's missing. But for what fucking sane reason on this earth could you not even get the head a fraction of the way towards correct? This could be literally any other Chromia head. You could call it the IDW one, and I wouldn't bat an eye. You could call it the WFC one, and I wouldn't bat an eye. You could say it's the G1 one, and I wouldn't bat an eye. The only one that you can't say that this is the Cyberverse one. You know, the one where she has spiky elf ears and her head forms a triangle with big eyes and purple lips. None of the defining features of the Cyberverse design are on this head. And you know what? That doesn't make it a bad toy. In fact, in a heartbeat, I will replace my animated Prowl with this. Look, I just think Chromia is way cooler. But why, for the love of God, would you claim that this is the Cyberverse Chromia when it's clear that you just wanted to make a regular Chromia? Yeah, watch, it turns out that this is just an extremely convincing custom. I mean, this is photographed in a vacuum box with paint in the background. So either this is inside the factory, this is a fake leak of a custom, or they chose the worst possible place for credibility in all the world to take this picture. Though if it is a fake, where did that head come from? Alt mode looks good, I like these colors. I just don't know why you would call this Cyberverse Chromia. Then there's this guy. Waspinator, is that you? You cannot convince me that this was not supposed to be Waspinator, but also made of crystals. I mean, just look at him. He's an aircraft, he's green and yellow, he's got the tail, he's kind of got wings, the front of the alt mode becomes his chest, he's got the eye shape with the fabulous brows. He's even got the yellow mohawk. The Waspinator did have 2 of those, and most damning of all, this is going to be a weaponizer. So not only is the name similar to his actual name, he's also going to be able to come apart. I mean, the question is how much he will come apart given Magnius's complete phoning in of that gimmick. But I mean, name one more Waspinator thing to do than falling apart. Hell, his guns even shoot parts of his wings, just like the old Waspinator toy. Yep, this is Waspinator 100%. And Hasbro just made themselves a sale. Honestly, if you guys redo all of the Beast Wars characters as rocks, I will buy them. And it's not just that, yeah, I'm a mark for Beast Wars, or stuff that is intentionally or inadvertently reminding me of Beast Wars. It just looks good in general. Designs are cool, colors are cool. Reminds me of some kind of candy, though I can't place what. Don't say rock candy. But then it looks like it has a good transformation, and the alt mode is great. Though I think the odds are good that the rotor doesn't spin on it at all. Like, maybe it can rotate, but I don't think it will do so freely, as it's either friction pegged in, or the photographer went to great pains to make sure that it was aligned perfectly for both these pictures. Because 99% of the time when I try to take a picture of something that has a rotor, it winds up looking like this. And let's get down to the big HasLab reveals. I'm so sorry to animated fans for giving you hope. It seems that it's not an animated Omega Supreme, it's a RID 2001 Optimus Prime, who I guess in Japan was called Omega Prime. I will not be doing that. Why? Because someone needs to propagate the PerspectiveEnd hates Japan meme. The only one who makes me look bad is me. Good luck canceling me when I'm already canceled. And the first thing that I will say about this toy is, I don't know, there's something about the way that it looks that feels kind of cheap to me. Maybe it's the sculpting, maybe it's the hollow cutouts in the hands, maybe it's the joints clearly only having 90-degree bends, maybe it's the head on Ultra Magnus looking nothing like the character, but something is making me squint. The second thing I will say is that this absolutely looks to be worth more than the $250 they're charging for it, because this seems to be 2 Commander class figures with like 6 different modes between them and a deluxe crammed into one box set. Yeah, this is really trying to hammer home that value. Holy crap. This is clearly going to do everything the original figure did, though I would assume with all the gimmicks now not being spring-loaded, and it's packing everything together in one box, which makes me happy, since as a kid I was always super frustrated that I couldn't find an Ultra Magnus. Which, yes, I know, god damn are his shins stupid as fuck. Boy is on a giant pair of stilts or the most ridiculous pair of platform shoes of all time. But to be fair, this is how he looked in the show. And honestly, what looks worse to me is the width of his shoulders. All Commander-class versions of Ultra Magnus are now confirmed wide boys. I do have to commend them on seemingly saying, we want to do the original again, but better in every way. So despite the likely loss of those spring-loaded gimmicks, I'd say that this will probably hold together way better and pose better in its combined modes too. But also it's just bigger than the original one. Seriously, you guys can calm down. I know I'm always on you to try harder, but you don't need to go this damn hard. It's even bigger than the Deathsaurus. How are you doing literally everything the old toy did and literally all of it better? I don't even care that the sculpting looks cheap to me in a weird way. This is all so impressive. I also see that you've changed up the hands so the arm guards don't get in the way anymore. Oh, I know where they saved all their budget on. They must not use real rubber tires. That accounts for all of this. As a kid, I always thought that the Ultra Magnus combined mode was awesome and seriously distinct from his normal super mode. As an adult, I kind of realize now it's mostly the same thing. Like, am I crazy? The colors are hugely changed, the head is a bit different, the back wings are new, and the chest piece is a lot prettier. Shiny thing good. But the vibe is identical to me. Maybe it's just the arms being so similar. And then there's this guy. Who the fuck is this guy? I have no memory of him. He looks like a bad version of Trigger Happy straight out of Power Rangers in space. Oh cool, he turns into a cassette. With guns on it. Finally. Both alt modes look immaculate. Prime's fire truck is as good as ever, though I'm sure it will still bug me with all of the parts forming that this is going to have to go through. Honestly, the original version of this toy is probably what made me hate parts forming so much. Ultra Magnus' car carrier mode is still something I've yearned for since childhood, though. And hilariously, thanks to the Siege version bridging these two, now this feels way more like Ultra Magnus to me, unlike in the show back in the day where he was just some dude. You know, I can't remember if I saw that show first or the G1 movie first. I definitely finished watching the movie after this show, because emotionally I did not have the fortitude to sit all the way through it till I was like 14, so I probably didn't know who Ultra Magnus was at the time, really. The base mode still sucks. Maybe it would look better if the fingers weren't bent, but this is absolutely just the super mode in an awkward pose pretending that you can't see him, who then fell asleep. But yeah, this looks like it's going to be very good. And now, just after getting my last HasLab, I probably need to buy another. From Hasbro Pulse. The shitters. And at the end of the video, I think most of this looks pretty great. Obviously, the HasLab set is a cut above, but I'm loving Waspinator. Chromia looks awesome, even if it's totally not the version of her that they're claiming it is. And with the Sideswipe, I'm sure a lot of people are happy about it. Like I said, it does look like the actual one from the game, unlike the OG toy, and maybe it's just the fact that I really don't like the game designs. But man, I just think that that thing looks goofy and awkward. Is that just me, or do other people feel the same? Anyways, we've got even more to be excited for, and even more for our wallets to curse us for. But that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough of what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.